What's going on, traders? Welcome back to day 5 of 25 days of trading. I want to talk about why you're losing money trading at the open. It's probably just because you want to trade more than you want to make money. More times than not, I do not find my best trade of the day within those first 10, 15, maybe even 30 minutes of the day. Every now and then you'll find some nice volatility moves, but more times than not, the trend hasn't even set in yet. I can't read this thing 10 minutes into the day. Let me get some more information. Today I was just able to take one trade across my account. So if you need a top one account, they're running their 57.5% off sale with code Evan. You can copy trade plenty of accounts, whether it's the Ignite or the Instant Funded. So check those out down below. Let's go over my trade here because I did trade kind of early inside the open range, but let's get into this video here. Looking at price action. Now, I've made videos on the open range, VWAP, all this different things, but this open here today, sideways, not a whole lot of information. Exactly what I'm talking about. That this could very easily just chop you up, take your money, blow your accounts, and then the trend sets in and it's beautiful. You know what you want to do, but you no longer have risk to play for the day. But what I did today was wait for the longs to try to step back in because I wasn't fully convinced on the shorts. Now, if you go back to this yellow view up at start of week, so no, maybe I get claimed to have too strong of a long bias, but this is from the Sunday changeover. Where should I be bearish? It's nothing but higher lows still. So although we had that strong pre-market move down, I'm still going to wait for buyers to try to step in until they really convince me, okay, you're holding on to that bias a little too long now, Evan. You should probably switch to the shorts. But once we got this failed break of the opening range low, which often doesn't run, I speak about that in depth in Futures 2.0, which is my full strategy on AceFX TV. The link to that's down below as well. I almost saw this as our higher low from the low a day set in pre-market because I don't know if we're actually bearish. That once buyers got in above New York VWAP, now I want to be long because I'll have a great stop loss saying, well, if this does finally break for a new low a day and a lower low, then yeah, I should not be long right now. Let me get maybe into the shorts. But I'm trading level to level out at this overnight VWAP. Now, another tricky thing about it today, why am I trading to the overnight VWAP or why am I long biased underneath it? Maybe this has some merit to it. Let's take a look at the pre-market structure. So pre-market wise, we're bullish. All week we've been bullish. So we're still making higher lows on the bottom. This one news candle comes in to drop us. But then once the dust settles, what's happened? Buyers picked up right where they left off and just brought us back higher. So like if you just erase this from your mind like it's not even there, it was long, one bearish bar, and the longs continued, right? So it's very tricky on the mind of how does it look bullish way down here? But I was almost saying that bearish bar isn't even real, right? The news actually did come out as fake, so that's probably why buyers just bid us back up. But looking at it like that, trading level to level, but you just don't get a whole lot of information in these first early goings. You can take a look at my trade from yesterday. This is on Tuesday. The first hour and 10 minutes, my first trade's at 10:40 in the morning. Now, it's definitely clear that buyers are in control today, more so than the market we just went over. But where do I want to get long? It has to be at VWAP. I don't need to chase into the first retest of it. Have to hold through the first break. As we get more information, yeah, buyers are still holding in. Buyers are looking good. And you hold in and you find the better clean trades. Even on this day, while you're losing money at the open, well, the open range isn't even set. So a lot of the time you don't know where exactly to put your stop loss. If you're trading along in the first 3 minutes of the day, that is the open range low, technically, right here, right? So you're going to put a stop loss there. Get smoked because it's not actually the open range low. Open range hasn't even set yet. And then it moves higher. So it's like many times trading inside the opening range, you might be right on direction. But the timing to do so is very volatile. Your stop loss may be too tight. And sometimes, which we could take a look at on, I think, this Monday, your bias is completely wrong. That if you just waited for a few minutes of more information, you would have never looked in that direction. But you were too eager to trade, wanting to make your money super early. And that's why I like to say you're just wanting to trade more than you're wanting to make money. Now, some of these days aren't ugly. They're not bad. But a lot of the times when you guys are taking trades inside the open range, it's like, you think that's the best we could do? That's the setup that deserves our risk to try to get to payout, huh? You don't think we could find anything better? Because, again, this is on Monday. First trade at 10:39. So a lot of patience this week. Now, I'm not saying they always come an hour after. I am live here at the open, streaming on AceFX TV, that we could find something at 9:50, 10 o'clock, right? Just so happened that these past 2 days have been an hour. Now, in this box here, if we just boxed it off, where does price want to go? Well, I don't know. Maybe this wants to reject back down. But once it breaks out, and by this point of me buying it, I know I want to be a buyer. There's no question on direction. I like my key levels. more trend and more storyline, more pictures of the puzzle have come in that I know I want to be a buyer, right? So let's go back here and take a look at, I believe it was Monday. So let's go over there and put on, we'll stick on the electronic trading hours just so we can see that pre-market move. So on Monday, which is where that actually start a week VWAP is, so let's just turn that black. So that's the overnight VWAP. We're definitely bearish to start the week, overnight at least. Lower highs and lower lows all the way from that overnight VWAP. All right, but it's all pre-market. I'm asleep during London session. Then when we come into New York here, it's right at that overnight VWAP. So let's put on our New York VWAP. This is where you're going to see from the open. We'll turn that blue. That you see a rejection. I guess let's rewind it so we can see those open range levels, shall we? So now you see the open range high and the low. That the open range is still setting, first of all, but we just went over this long, right? The opening range isn't even set, but maybe you short it there after the hold of overnight VWAP, break below New York. Goes a few points, yeah, maybe you scalp that real quick. But selling it was not the direction that day. Despite it looking so bearish, pre-market underneath some VWAPs, let's see what happens here at the open. There's not a whole lot of information. We're going to get nothing but more information. Are we going to be rangy? Are we going to be strong trend in one direction? Are we going to battle it out and slowly grind in one direction? Let's wait and see. And then I'll make a better, sharper decision and probably be less likely to take a loss. And even more so times, like I said, you like the longs. So you're long here, stop loss at the low. You're right on wanting to long it, but way too early in doing so, right? The price to long it was maybe after the open range is set here at 946. That's the safer time to do it. Or my long over here. After the range is set, we've had an hour of bullish pop. Now's the safer time to long it, right? So I think it's also just like dangerous in that regard of, yeah, it might be a solid looking trade, but who knows how this open wants to shake out, right? Because up until this point, yeah, longs look good, right? Especially if you're on the regular trading hours here at the open. Oh, buyers are in. Let me just chase this volatility higher. Stop loss at this opening range low. And it's just too early, not enough going on. It's like, why did we do that? Especially on this markup. It's a Monday morning. Wait for some information. Know that you only need one setup. I had a call with one of our BSC members on our group coaching call that I am maybe known to be a little bit picky and conservative, which I'll take. But let's just pretend I said you can only take 2 trades today, right? You only got 2 bullets, 2 shots. Would you waste it on this one, right? Or do you think, hey, I think I could find something better? You'll probably pass on a lot more setups than you previously are now. But when you don't have that cap in your mind, you're just saying, well, yeah, I could take this one at the open because then I could also flip to the shorts and I could long it again later. I could also then trade it again later as well, right? It's just infinite amount of trades that, yeah, why not throw risk anywhere I can? But when you're in the mindset of conservative and saying, no, I can't waste my risk on this. I only have 2 shots to take. This can't be one of them. I've seen better. This isn't worth that 2 shots, right? So start operating in that mindset, and then you're probably not going to want to trade right at the open. Now, there's many days that you do want to trade at the open just because you're excited to get to the desk. But even if you had an idea, right, even this long today, right, my long here, let's put on the New York VWAP. That's the black one here. Okay, I want to long it here. I did long it here, but I want to long it here. Stop loss at the low, trade it up inside the range. But Evan said don't trade too early in the day, and you miss it. Boo-hoo. It pulls back. You could buy it off the New York VWAP again and trade it back for the next new high. And then you miss that one. It bounces off the New York VWAP again later. It bounces off the New York VWAP again later. So even if you did miss it and it would have been a winner, I don't care. I still know my best trades don't normally come at this time. So could I have made some money on it today? Sure. But I'm not like FOMOing in saying, oh, no, this is my best opportunity. I missed it. I can't believe I did that. You're going to get more information. You're probably going to find cleaner setups, if not one that looks just as nice as this, and still be able to make money. So if you think this is going to be the last opportunity to buy it today, that's way too scarcity mindset. But also, you're going to jump in, maybe chase too high, suffocate the stop loss, oversize, whatever the case may be, right? So operate from slow and steady. If you miss a trade, there's always another one around the corner. We're going to find some nice setups, maybe not in the next 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes or an hour, right? All of this, garbage, noise. If you didn't make money on it, who cares? Now we're seeing some higher highs and higher lows. That's where you want to try to make your money. Outside the range, outside, away from VWAP, with the trend, all right? But trend isn't always there at the open. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure, like I said, you tune back in at 11 a.m. every single morning for this 25 Days of Christmas series. Check out the top 1 sale. as well as our ASFX TV streams. My full strategy is on here for free when you sign up for your first month. So hopefully I'll see you there in the chat, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.